Welcome, and thank you for volunteering your time with the Chapter 1 online volunteer reading program. This is the first of two training sessions and will cover the following: a brief introduction to early literacy, when to expect your student assignment, how to schedule and start a reading session, what to do if you need support, and child safeguarding information. In the second training you have booked, Building Confident Readers, we will cover your role in supporting children to read, how to engage struggling readers, and how to manage your reading session. We will also provide a review of the Chapter 1 stories and activities. Please don't worry about taking notes during this training. You will always have access to this video and other resources in the Learning Center. Let's begin by understanding the importance of first grade. First grade is where children are introduced to the structure and rules of the classroom and where the real work of learning begins. First grade is considered the reading year and where children are taught foundational reading skills that will set them up for future success. These foundational skills will take students from learning to read to reading to learn. If a child leaves first grade without a strong foundation in reading skills, that child will likely be left behind before their education truly begins. Walk into a first grade classroom, and you'll find a room full of children who love to learn and who believe their possibilities are limitless. Every single day in a child's life has the potential to change who they are forever. When you support their efforts by reading together each week and help them to understand how reading can benefit them in the future, there really is no limit to what they can achieve. Children come to school from many different circumstances and with many different learning abilities. Some children may come from backgrounds where books and reading are not a part of their home lives and need the extra reading support you can provide. Nationally, we measure reading proficiency at the beginning of fourth grade. According to the NAEP National Report Card, the percentage of students who performed at or above the NAEP proficient level was 32% in 2022. Furthermore, the average fourth grade reading score was lower than all previous assessment years going back to 2005. The research shows that if children are reading at grade level by the end of grade 1, they are more likely to be reading at grade level by the end of grade 3. In our view, this makes the National Third Grade Reading Challenge a first grade reading challenge. Get students reading at grade level by the end of first grade, and they're more likely to be reading at grade level by the end of third grade. Reading at grade level requires that students must first learn the fundamental strategies of how to read, a skill taught in every first grade classroom. However, learning reading strategies alone won't increase proficiency. Students must also spend time reading out loud with someone who can encourage their progress and gently guide them as they learn successful reading habits. As you coach your student each week, you're helping them develop in three very key ways: helping them build their reading skills, increasing their reading confidence, and last but not least, inspiring a love and joy for reading. Teachers really appreciate the one-to-one support and consistent regular practice you provide their students each week. As part of the Chapter 1 team, you are a precious asset in the classroom and also act as a positive role model. Please do keep in mind that initially your student may be shy or struggle from a lack of confidence. Some students may present themselves as disinterested and tell you they don't want to read. Please stick with them and provide lots of encouragement and praise. It may take your student 3 to 4 reading sessions before they feel comfortable reading with you each week. Taking on the role of a reading volunteer is fun and rewarding, but it is a commitment. We know that consistent weekly sessions will help students develop as readers, but students also need a consistent classroom environment to thrive and grow. Early grade classrooms depend on repetition. This helps children understand what comes next as they learn classroom norms and expectations. Your consistent weekly calls not only help to prepare students for what to expect, consistent calling also results in a more successful program. Classrooms where volunteers are calling each week are more likely to have better success reaching their students than classrooms where calls are sporadic. We understand that schedules, holidays, and conflicts will sometimes mean you will miss a reading session, but the goal is to aim for 25 sessions during the school year. To make sure you have a successful experience and students are benefiting from as much reading support as possible, we do monitor call frequency and consistency. If our reporting indicates that you have not had a session with your student over a 3-week period, excluding vacations and holidays, we will contact you to see how we can help get you and your student back on track. Please watch for those emails and respond by letting us know if you're experiencing issues or are otherwise having difficulty making the weekly call. We also welcome hearing from you, so please contact us at help@chapter1.org if you have a concern or need our assistance. We are often asked if special equipment is needed for the online reading program. The answer is no. All you need is a computer with an internet connection and a mobile or landline phone. We advise against using a software voice over IP connection to call the classroom, as it may result in a poor audio connection. We're aware that many employees are working remotely and may be using a VPN connection on a work device to connect to the internet. Experience shows that connecting via the VPN can impact the quality of the reading session, especially the audio. So where possible, please connect to the internet outside your company VPN or use a personal device to conduct the reading session. The most frequently asked question is, when can I start reading with my student? Depending on when school begins for your assigned district, the program can begin in late September or early to mid-October. Before a classroom can begin their online reading sessions, there are prerequisites that must be completed by the teacher and the volunteers assigned to that classroom. The equipment for the online reading program has been set up and has cleared audio and firewall testing. Teachers have assessed all students and have selected 10 students to participate in the program. Selected students have returned a signed Chapter 1 permission form from their parental guardian. The teacher has indicated on the shared calendar those times when volunteers can sign up for a reading session. You and your fellow volunteer teammates have completed and passed the background check requirement and watched the basic training video. When these action items have been completed and a classroom has at least 5 of the 10 volunteers assigned to a student, the program can begin. Prior to your first session, it may be helpful to spend time getting familiar with the activities in the Chapter 1 platform. The platform includes a practice feature that simulates a live session. Please use Google Chrome to access the practice feature. To practice a session, open the practice screen by clicking on the practice link. A simulation of the student's screen will open in the lower right corner of your screen. Click on any activity from the menu to begin practicing. As you click through the activities, you will see a representation of what the student will see during the session. Your activity screen is active, and when you select an activity, the same activity will appear on the student's simulated screen. To close the student view, click on the X tab. To reopen the student view, click on the Student View icon. To enlarge the student screen, click on the Screen tab. When you're in practice mode, you will notice the word Practice Session by the clock in the upper right corner of the screen. Be sure to exit practice mode by clicking End after your practice session. You will be redirected to the home page. Once you have been assigned a student, you're ready to sign up for your weekly reading session using the scheduling calendar. This is the calendar you and your teacher will share and where you will schedule your reading sessions. To schedule a session, go to app.chapter1.org and sign in using the same username and password used when you registered. Please use Google Chrome when signing into the Chapter 1 platform. Google Chrome is the preferred browser and will provide the best experience. At the beginning of the year, the teacher will block out times on the calendar that are not available for reading sessions. These times will be in black. Available times to schedule a session will be in white. You and your teammates are welcome to sign up during any time that is not blocked out by the teacher or already taken by another volunteer. The calendar is a Monday through Friday calendar and is date specific. There are 2 options for scheduling a session. You can schedule a session that repeats each week, or you can schedule a one-time session that does not repeat each week. The repeating session functionality is useful if you plan to read with your student at the same time each week and want to secure this time into the future. If possible, we do encourage you to choose and stick to the same day and time each week and complete at least 25 sessions during the year. This builds consistency and routine for both you and your student. You can always move a session to a new day or time if needed. Remember, available times are in white. To schedule a session that repeats each week, review the calendar for a day and time that is available and click in the cell to open the scheduling window. The hour, minutes, and AM or PM time in the pop-up window can be revised if needed. Under Repeat Status, select Repeat Weekly. When you select Repeat Weekly, your session time will appear at the same day and time on the calendar each week for the duration of the school year. Click Save when you're done. You will now see the calendar entry that includes the time of your session, your student's name, and your name. If you need to edit your repeating session time, click in the same cell to open the scheduling window. You can make a temporary change for a specific week, or you can make a change to the repeating entry for all future weeks, or you can delete the session time entirely. If you find you're not able to make a weekly reading session due to a conflict, you can schedule a one-time or alternate session. To create a one-time session, click in the cell for the time you wish to select. From the scheduling window under Repeat Status, select Do Not Repeat. When selecting Do Not Repeat, your entry will automatically be removed from the calendar at the end of the day for which it was scheduled. Remember to save your entry. You now have two session entries on the calendar: your regular weekly session and your one-time or alternate session. If you're working with more than one student in the classroom, you will need to schedule a separate session for each student. To schedule the session, click on the Selected Student drop-down. Select the student you wish to schedule with, and then add your entry to the schedule. You will notice the selected student name and your name will appear in the session entry. Because you share the schedule with your teacher, he or she can also make changes to the calendar. In the event of a field trip, assembly, or other special activity when students are not available, the teacher can temporarily block those times when they're not in the classroom. If this happens, the block will show up on the calendar. If the temporary block time interferes with your session, you will receive an email that your student is not available on that day. When you're ready to meet with your student for the weekly session, go to app.chapter1.org and sign into the application. The first screen presented is the home screen and where you will start your session. From the home screen, you can view your student's name and the day and time of your session. If you have two students assigned to you, you can select the correct student for the session by clicking on the Change Student drop-down list. Our training today will focus on starting a classroom session. To begin, click on Start Classroom Session. This will prompt the system to locate the classroom computer and generate a phone number. If you attempt to start a session earlier than your assigned time, you will get a prompt that reminds you the session has not yet started. You may begin your session early if there's not another session already in progress. Before starting a session early, please check the calendar. The system only allows for one volunteer to be connected to the classroom computer at a time. If there is a session in progress, you will get a message to try again in 3 minutes. Click Yes if you would like to start your session early. As the system generates the phone number, notice the information on the right side of the screen. This information includes the school's name, the teacher name, also known as the classroom, your student's gender, and your student's reading level. This information is always available during a session by clicking on the Child Info link at the top of each screen. Once the classroom computer is identified, the system will generate a phone number. Please do not save this number. A new number will be generated for your next session. If the phone number does not appear, there may be an issue with the classroom computer, and you should contact support for assistance. As you wait for the system to generate a phone number, you always have the option to either contact support or restart the session. Once the number is available, use your mobile or landline phone and call the phone number you see on the screen. Please note that the platform does not call the class laptop directly. You will need to use a mobile or landline phone to establish the audio connection. The call will be answered by the classroom phone greeter, who will talk to you through a headset. Give the greeter the name of your student. The greeter will locate the student, who will then sit down at the laptop and put on a headset.
We have one student assigned to answer the phone calls as the phone calls are incoming.
Hello.
Hi, can I please speak to Jeremiah?
Uh-huh. She'll go over and grab him, and he'll come on a couple seconds later, and he's always excited.
Hello again.
Hi, Jeremiah.
If your student is available, click Student Available. Click to launch activities. This will advance you to the next screen, where you can select the student's reading level. If your student is not available, click Phone Answered but Student Unavailable. This will automatically generate a report letting us know your student was not available for the reading session. You will also get a prompt to reschedule your session. If you try to call a class but the phone is not answered, we recommend you either contact chat support or click here to restart. Please give it a few minutes before you try again. The class might be late returning from another activity. Early elementary grades can be busy, and unexpected things do crop up. After you click Student Available, click to launch activities, the platform will display the student's activity level and story level. You may move these levels up or down as needed at any time throughout your session by clicking on the pencil icon. Activity and story levels are explained in more detail in the Building Confident Readers training. Click the Go to Flashcards button to proceed. Flashcards are a great way to get your student acclimated to the reading session. Please be advised that all reading sessions on the Chapter 1 platform are recorded. During an active reading session, there may be times when it is unclear if your student is viewing the same material as you. To view a representation of the child's screen, click on the View icon at the top of the screen, and a window will appear that shows you what the child ought to see on their screen. This will help you direct them if they're unsure of what to do or if it is unclear they are viewing what you sent. This feature is a guide only and should not replace reaching out to chat support for assistance. If the child reports they're not able to see what you sent, contact chat support so that they can verify what is presented on the child's screen. The Chapter 1 platform has a built-in message tool that makes it easy to send and receive messages to and from your teacher. You can access the message feature from the message link anytime you would like to read or send a message. When you click on messages, you will see clickable links for your message inbox, any unread messages, and your sent messages. To send a message to your teacher, click on the orange New Message button on the right of the page. Complete the fields provided, and when you're done, click Send Message. From the message box, you can also send a message to our support team. This is helpful if you would like a Chapter 1 support team member to contact you. To send a message to our support team, click the box for Program Manager Support, and a team member will review your message and get back to you as quickly as possible. When you have a new message, you will be notified by email that there is a message waiting, and you'll see that message when you log into the platform. After you have read the message, click on the Mark as Read button to prevent the message from appearing each time you log into the platform. We ask teachers to send you a courtesy attendance message on the day of your reading session to indicate whether your student is present or absent. Most teachers do manage this, but if you do not receive a present or absent message, then a good rule of thumb is to call a class anyway. Please note that we also encourage teachers to communicate with their volunteers as often as possible, but some teachers may not have the time to routinely check and reply to messages regularly. If you have a question that needs to be addressed by your teacher and you have not received a response within 3 to 4 days, you can contact your support representative by clicking on the support link or by sending an email to help@chapter1.org. While we do everything possible to ensure you have a successful session with your student, there are times when you may need support during a session or need to report a problem. Let's first take a look at what you should do if you need help during an active session. During your time with your student, you may encounter a technical issue, and it's important these issues be addressed quickly. Please do not ask your student's teacher for help. We have chat support agents standing by to help you with any technical problem you may encounter during the session. Our live chat support agents have direct remote access to the classroom computer and can resolve most issues within a few seconds. There are a few generic issues that you might encounter that can be fixed quickly by the live chat team. For example, an audio level that is too low, a window that may be blocking the application, or confirmation that the student can view the activity that you sent. Anytime you encounter a problem that affects the quality of your session, please contact a live chat support agent immediately. Don't wait until the session is over to let us know you had a problem. If your issue is not technical, requires contacting the teacher, or managing an ongoing issue, please contact your program manager or email us at help@chapter1.org. There are 3 options available should you need help during the reading session: live chat, GoToAssist, and phone support. To reach a support agent using live chat, click on the orange bar located in the bottom right corner of the reading application. The support agent will acknowledge your presence in the chat room, and you can begin the chat. Most volunteers have access to live chat. However, if your organization does not allow live chat, we do have other options available. To view other support options, click on the Help Options link at the top of the page. Please remember to have the school and teacher name available when using a support option other than live chat. Let's take a moment to review the other options available. If your organization allows fast chat, go to www.gotoassist.com/SB/chapter1. Once you're logged in, follow the prompts to connect with a chat support agent. You're welcome to call the 800 number for assistance. However, response time may be slower. In addition to our live chat support team, there is an option for you to report an issue without contacting chat support. During your session, you may experience an issue that disrupts or makes it difficult to work with your student. To report a disruption, click the Disrupted link at the top of the page and select the problem from the drop-down menu. While this does not replace contacting a live chat agent if you need help, it is an opportunity for you to give us information about your session. This information is reviewed daily and helps us target and resolve issues quickly. The chat support team provides real-time technical support during your reading sessions. Their support is limited to technical issues and problems with the equipment. Please be aware that chat agents do not have direct access to the classroom teacher and will not be able to address issues that are classroom-related. For those types of issues, it is best to contact a Chapter 1 program manager. Your program manager can answer questions about your student assignment, calls that frequently go unanswered, or any other questions you may have about the platform or the program. They also monitor session consistency and may check in with you if they notice your sessions have not been occurring regularly. After each session, we ask that you provide us with brief feedback about the reading session. While feedback after every session may seem unnecessary, it does provide us with helpful information that might impact your next session, as well as the sessions of your fellow teammates. We've tried to make it quick and easy and appreciate your entries. If you would like to leave written feedback about your session, there are 2 comment boxes available. The first box is for comments you would like to share with our support team. We review these comments to help us understand what you experienced during a reading session. The second box is for comments you would like to share with the teacher. Click the End Session button at the bottom of the feedback form to submit your feedback. You will be redirected to the homepage and can log out of the application. When you signed up to volunteer, you were asked to read and agree to our child safeguarding policy. Like all organizations working with young children, we take safeguarding seriously and believe this is everyone's responsibility. During the reading session, your student may share something with you that you might find concerning. We want to make sure you feel prepared and confident in what you should do if that happens. If a child shares something with you that causes you to be concerned for their safety and well-being, you are required by law to report your concerns to Child Protective Services. We understand that you might feel upset in the event that a child discloses something that leads you to suspect abuse or maltreatment. But please remember, your reaction can have an impact on the child you're talking to, so try and do the following. As best you can, document what the child has told you, but do not ask probing questions. Be reassuring and validate the child. I understand that may have been scary. Refrain from being emotional or showing shock. I'm glad you were able to tell me. It's not your fault. Do not make promises to the child. You might let the child know that you cannot promise to keep this a secret, but will make sure to let someone know who can help. Allow the child to finish his or her thoughts and then gently end the session. For example, you might say, "I see that reading may be difficult for you today. Let's end this session and we'll read again next week." When you end the session, immediately report your concerns to the Child Protective Services hotline. This is a confidential and anonymous hotline. For a list of CPS hotline numbers by state, visit the Learning Center. When calling Protective Services, provide the hotline operator with the information to the best of your ability. They may ask you questions that you cannot answer due to limited information. That's okay, simply tell them what you know. Do not judge for yourself if the story the child shares constitutes abuse, is valid, or true. If you are concerned, you must report. The agency will make the determination whether or not further investigation is necessary. After you have made your report, fill out the Chapter 1 incident report found in the Learning Center and email the report to childsafety@chapter1.org. Do not provide details in this report. The incident report is only used as verification that the Child Protective Agency was notified. The information you share with the agency is confidential between you and the hotline operator. We appreciate your support in helping us keep children participating in the online reading program safe. If you have questions about our platform, volunteering, or special topics, we hope you will take advantage of the Learning Center as an easy-to-use resource. The Learning Center includes a comprehensive FAQ feature to help you find answers to questions quickly, video segments on all topics reviewed during training, how-to PDFs, and articles on best practices for reading with young children. To get answers to your questions quickly, we encourage you to visit the Learning Center throughout the year. We hope you found this training helpful. The next training, Building Confident Readers, will review the Chapter 1 activities and how to make the most out of the reading sessions with your student.